Okay, hey guys, what's going on? My name's Jesse Johnson. I produce electronic music. I produce music in general. I've been doing it for about 9 years now, 8, 9 years, something like that, coming on 10 or something. Started an electronic dance label in 2010. Got some stuff on iTunes, Beatport, stuff like that. But today I'm going to bring a tutorial on how to create a kick drum pattern in Ableton. A lot of people, want to produce music, and if they could just get past some of these basic parts, then it would, the sky's the limit. So I wanted to do some videos on how to, bring in a kick drum, how to create a snare or a clap or a combination or whatever, and then some hi-hats and stuff like that. So today's first video is how to make a kick drum. So basically, inside Ableton here, I've uploaded my template. My template consists of just MIDI data that I can use universally for the sample. In Ableton, you can bring in the wave or the audio directly into, but I've noticed for me when I do it that way, it's not as effective because let's say I bring in my synths or some other sounds, and over the time that I'm producing, I don't really like the kick drum as much anymore. It would be really hard to change or get out of the song, but if it's in MIDI data, then I can just drop a new sample in. And this is really beneficial. So if you can kind of understand this technique, it can really make it universal for any type of sound that you want to implement. You can even print it to track, a synth sound, and that's now a wave that you can input into this MIDI data that you could use as a sample. So it's a really good universal technique. So here with this kick drum, I have 2 MIDI tracks inside of the inside my kick pattern here. But how do I even get it there? So what you do is, it says in the middle of the screen here, drag and drop devices here. So let's say you go over here to this left side of the screen, and there's all these little tabs. You got an arrow pointing, you have a toolbox, you have a plug-in looking thing, and you have 3 folders here. So basically go to the toolbox, and underneath instruments is a thing called a sampler. So you want to go to to create, and you want to create a new MIDI track. So then that's Control-Shift-T, and that's something to remember too. Control-Shift-T. That's really important. But anyway, so you get your MIDI track up here, right? You want to create, and you go to Insert MIDI track. So now you can drop literally onto this MIDI channel here that's highlighted. You can literally click the word sampler, grab it, and drop it onto here. And then what it does is it drops this thing called a sampler. I use the sampler over the simpler. The sampler has more options and stuff like that I enjoy, and that I'm more comfortable. It's kind of like the big older brother, if you will. So, yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, so we got this here. So that's basically the sampler. What I did is I right-clicked the name of the sampler. I said rename. I said kick. So what you're seeing up there, and I colored them. So, that one's blue. You highlight basically from this region to this region. Select the terms of the length. So, we could go quarter notes, you can go to 30-second notes, you can even go off. All you got to do is right click this gray area or this off screen or off MIDI area, and you can bring up this menu here. And this is, so what I do now is I am in bar form. I need bars, right? Because this is what I know I need. So I'll just highlight these 4 bars because it's 4 bar phrases for me. And it says insert MIDI clip. Boom, you got a MIDI clip. Now you can change the color. What I've done is I've changed it to blue. Right, so I did that, right, and this is mid kick, I called it mid kick. Anyway, so I'm going to delete this now, because now we know how I got this sampler. So you double click the color, and then opens the MIDI piano. Inside this white area on the piano, you right click, it shows the grid mode, right, so you can go half quarter notes, 2 bars, 4 bars, 30-second notes, whatever you want to do. And then you can use this down here, and you click, and you move up and down, and it zooms in and out, right? So cool. So I know that with my kick drum pattern, let's say for electro house, I know, for instance, it's 128, so I'm going to just click my metronome speedometer guy, and we're just going to change it to 128. And cool, I got just right clicked here, and I'm going to change it to quarter notes. So we got quarter notes. So I'm going to hit Control. I'm going to highlight it, right? Click above it, drag below it, highlight it, and basically we're going to just hit Control D all the way across, because with electro house it's quarter notes. So we right click here, boom, it's quarter notes. You want 1 MIDI note per quarter note for the song. So you want it to go doom, 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 because the beat is beat, 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 and you want the kick drum to hit kick, 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 right? So you use a quarter note on the beat at 128, right? So this is the MIDI data that is going to tell the sample when to trigger, right? Okay, cool. So this little arrow down here kind of closes this MIDI box here, right? So cool. So now I've done this here to this one. Notice how this one is different because this is what I had before, and now this is what I have now. So awesome, cool. So I've got my MIDI data in there. I've got my kick drum. It's at 128, and I've got my kick drum here. All right, so I got the sample. So this is right. So I double click this mid kick. This is the one I've used, and it says drop sample here. So I go over here to my folder here. Now I've already linked up my samples to my folder. Not linked up, but I mean, you click the thing, at the top it says destination, so if I put the folder on my desktop, I can just go up here, click desktop, and cool, this is where my samples would be. These are my audio jazz here that I've created, whatever. But so let's say I know that I put my folder in my documents folder, and it says DAW samples, digital audio workspace samples. Awesome. So inside here, Vengeance is pretty popular, it's pretty common. So, you know, Essential Clubhouse, you know, Club Sounds 1. So I'm going to go down here, I need a kick drum. Cool, kick drum's awesome. I'm into trance, I enjoy trance or this tight kick. So you click here. What's nice about Ableton is it already kind of plays the sample in real time right here. This blue bar down here is the sample volume, so if it's too loud or you have neighbors or it's too late at night, you know, or whatever, you can turn this down right here. And I've do that many times, but you know, we're looking at 12 o'clock, so I can rock it. So cool. Awesome. So this one here, no, I don't know. So when I listen for my kick, I just, you know, it's all feel, it's all vibe. That's, you know, you can't ask anyone how to produce an album. You know, you have to find what floats your boat, right? So you just listen. But this one's tight. It's kind of, you know, it's tight, you know, whatever. It's got some high end on it. I enjoy it. It kind of reminds me of psytrance. I'm into it. So I click the word or you know, the phrase, you know, BD Trancy 17. I literally click it. I'm holding it right here as I'm clicking it. It's highlighted and it says right here, drag and drop sample. Boom, it's in there. Awesome. So I'm gonna go up here to the top and I'm gonna hit double stop, or you know, stop twice. I'm gonna hit play. And now what's happening is the MIDI data is telling the kick drum to do that. I'm gonna hit the button tab, and this brings over my mixer window. Oh, I see. Okay, let's hit tab back. See how this loop ended right here? There's this loop guy there, and that makes this just repeat. So we're gonna double stop play, and it'll just kind of keep going. I won't have to worry about that. All right, so boom, we got the kick drum going. Cool, it's got a good volume. It's not peaking or anything, although the fader's up here, you know, whatever. These sounds are already compressed, so you don't really need to super compress them or anything like that. But essentially, this is how you get your kick drum going, right? Cool, I got my kick. Awesome. So this is the point of catharsis in the video. Is we've created the kick. Now let's say you wanted to do, you know, cut time music, dubstep or something like that. So we can go up to like maybe 140, right? And you know that the kick drums, you know, basically on the beat. So instead of having, you know, so instead of it being on the beat in dubstep, it's cut time music. So what I've done here is I've highlighted this whole measure, one full bar, and then I've copy and pasted it over to the other bars. So now I know with dubstep that when it happens, on the 3, the 1.3, or the 3, the third beat, 1, 2, 3, on the third beat that the snare or the clap or the combination happens on the 3. So you have the kick drum, boom, clap, boom, snare, boom, snare, right? So what I can do here is make some, you know, change the grid. We can change it to, you know, quarter notes is cool. But, you know, if you want to add some kind of punchy kind of uniqueness to the rhythm, you know, I always do, you know, change it to 16th notes, and I'll do it on the upbeat of the 2 and the upbeat of the 3. So it's, or, you know, we delete that one. Right? So this is kind of cool. This is a way for you to kind of create, you know, trap or dubstep, rap, you know, stuff like that, cut time breakdown, stuff like that. But yeah, so another cool little thing too is you can do 30-second notes here, 2 of them right before the beginning of the second phrase. And that's kind of cool. It adds a little punch to the, you know, complexity to the rhythm, you know, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I noticed in trap music and rap music too, they'll do triplets. So, and triplets are just 3 16th notes, right? So you just change it to 16th notes, and then you go in here and you go 1, 2, 3, cool, and then you start the next one, 1, 2, 3, and and then you click this, hold shift, and you highlight both of them. Control D, you can just do it all the way across the board. All right, so now you just got triplets happening all across the measure. Now you know that the clap happens on the 3, right? So maybe I'll pull this one back. Or maybe, and then we'll just do this one here or something, and we'll just start the phrase over, so it's like, some rowdy shit, boom, 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 shit like that. So anyway, that's kick drum stuff happening there. Again, too, I've chosen electro, what is this, Vengeance Essential Clubhouse, But like, I've got these other samples, these, BK Bangers, got these from the homie. But they got the 808s, the 808s are the kick drums. So you got these super, clubby ones, that are trappy and rappy, and it just, so, and that's cool too, and a lot of cats, these cats will, drop the rhythm down, on this last one or something, and maybe have it hit, 3 or 4 times, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's something, up there. And it's that simple. It really is that simple, Sky's the limit, creativity. Your own creativity limits you. So I just want to increase your creativity if I can. So enjoy. Knowledge is power. Cool. All right, later. This is Jesse Johnson, or A Native Sky, out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.